Hey, it's Science11, and I went through my top 10 favorite rare blades from Xenoblade 2 a few weeks ago. So here now is my top 10 least favorite rare blades. So, quick spoiler warning, as I will be going through the full Blade album, so spoilers up to chapter 7. And a couple rules on the criteria for this list is that I won't be going by gameplay too much. I will mention it for add-ons for stuff that's already made the list, but it's generally not going by gameplay criteria, mostly by design and personality, but also role in the story for one of these, I guess. So, number 10 for least favorites. This one is not an outright dislike. The first half and just more of don't care, but then the second half is more outright dislike. So, number 10 is Poppy Buster. Love Poppy Buster's design, actually. It's really cool concept, but it just makes no sense. If it was just the robot, it would have been a great blade, but having the little mini Poppy that pilots it just makes absolutely no sense. Like, if you could have that, why not just build an army of Poppies? And how is Poppy able to control it and fight at the same time? If she can do that, then why couldn't she just do all kinds of other ridiculous things? It just really does not make much sense how Poppy Buster works, and it would have made a lot more sense if it was just the big mech part. It really doesn't make any sense having Poppy control it. That's just arbitrary, since it already has an AI controlling the mech part. And the way the quest happens is just so nonsensical. It outright conflicts with canon, so this blade is pretty much non-canon, and that's another big thing against it. Unlike the New Game Plus blades, which are just for fun, and existing characters that you can get, this one is a completely new character that just doesn't fit in anywhere, doesn't make any sense. So that's why it's on the list. Also, quick mention of it being a shield hammer. It tries to fix shield hammers, but it's still a shield hammer and still has the problems of one, even though it tries to mitigate them a bit. So they really should have just buffed shield hammers in general, and then its skill tree would have made more sense. Would have actually been a lot more useful. So, number 9, least favorite, is Cressidas. He's just really boring looking. I mean, that's really all there is to say about it. He's just boring. Okay, number 8 on least favorites is Nim. She's got an okay design, but her face is just too weird. Too furry. If she just had more of a normal face, then this design probably could have been okay. Number 7, least favorites, is Korra. In her official art, her face isn't too bad, but when you see it in game, it looks even worse. Maybe because she has her mouth open in the official art, but when she has it closed, she has this really weird, like, fish face, I guess. Not to mention, her design overall is just weird. It's kind of over-designed, really, with all the lining on it. And I'll also be showing a couple of them with their models to talk about things with that. For the ones that you need to see more of the model to understand why I dislike it. So I'll be going over 3 of those once I reach the end of the list. So number 6, least favorite, is Electra. Actually, I should say that Electra is number 8 and bump up Nim and Korra to 7 and 6 respectively. Because Electra's cute, but she's just really annoying. I mean, decent design, though hair could have been a lot better, but overall, she's on the list because her personality is so annoying. Next up, for annoying also, is Dagas. It's also kind of a boring design. Looks pretty weird. Just don't really like his design, so his annoying personality added with that makes him one of my least favorites. Not really much to say about him. He's great in gameplay, but just really boring design, and I hate having him around. Now we get into the real dislikes. Number 4 is Azami. I cannot stand yandere characters. And on top of that, she doesn't even have a good design. Really do not like the marionette theme on her. So that combined with the really, really annoying personality, and I just do not like her at all. Number 3 is Vess. So, okay design, but the face. Vess's face is so disturbing. I hate that face design and the way she talks and the dumpling thing when it's just rice balls, I think. Pretty sure it's actually rice balls even though they call it dumplings. Her obsession with that, basically her entire personality is just making rice balls. So, really annoying personality, horrifying face. Also, this isn't to say that I outright hate any of these characters, I still use them, just really do not like them, and there's so many better ones that I would prefer using. So, second least favorite blade is Newt. So this one is bordering on outright hate. I just hate the muscle part, and the rest of her would have been okay, but the greenish gray skin just looks really gross. Like, she was trying to go for a Hulk theme, I guess, but it just looks so wrong. And least favorite blade of all, you can probably guess. Dahlia. So, everyone hates Dahlia, but honestly, the worst part of her design is not the torso. The worst part of her design is the face, the hair, the everything. The torso is the least worst part of her design. Everything else is terrible. Yeah, that part is oversized and looks weird too, but it's not as bad as the paws and the spiked hair and the furry skin, if it's even skin. And then her voice. Her voice is so grating. It is easily the worst voice in the game. So, here is some of those least favorites. Cora. Honestly, it's the ears. The ears are probably what makes the face look too sharp. The face would be passable if not for the ears. Next, Newt. Those muscly arms are disgusting. That is all. And Dahlia. Seriously, Dahlia is terrible. Just really terrible. And her model isn't quite as bad as the art, I guess. Well, until you look at it from the side. If you look at it from the front, it looks okay. If you look at it from the side, she looks awful. She's trying to be in an animal pose, but with a human body. So yeah, Dahlia sucks. That's the only blade that I can say I outright hate. And the worst part is that there were so many good concept designs for her that they did not use, and the fact that she was drawn by the same woman who drew Ursula. How do you go from Ursula to Dahlia? There was just so many concept designs for Dahlia that would have been great, but they went with this. Anyway, rant over. Those are my least favorite blades from Xenoblade 2. Love all the other blades. These 10 were just some of the worst. And when you have a cast of like 60 characters, having just 5 that are outright bad is not too bad at all. So, see you next time, and play Xenoblade 2, one of the greatest games of all time.